Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at Medicom toy MAFEX Kylo Ren from the Force Awakens. Yes, this is an older MAFEX figure, but some of you guys told me that you think that MAFEX version is the best version of Force Awakens Kylo Ren in the 6-inch scale. And so I was skipping on this figure for a long time. I do have the Black Series version, I also have the SH Figure Arts version, and I modified that version and I was kind of satisfied with it. And I will show you what I've done in a bit when we get to the comparisons. But just recently, at the time when Ami was about to send me my MAFEX 2.0 Mandalorian, I saw that they have this Kylo Ren back in stock. And to my surprise, his price was around $30, which is a steal for a MAFEX figure. I know that it's a sequel character and because of that it's probably not as popular as some of the other Star Wars characters, but here are my two reasons for getting this guy other than listening my audience's suggestions. First, I feel like Kylo Ren is the best thing, the best character that we got out of the sequel trilogy, and then my second reason is that I cosplay as this version of Kylo Ren. I do have a movie-accurate costume of this guy, and so now when I had the opportunity, I really wanted to get the MAFEX version just to see it for myself, how good it is, and so that I can compare it with the figures that other companies made. So here is the look at the box. We have a promo shot of the figure down here, Star Wars, Kylo Ren, MAFEX number 27. Here is the window that shows us everything that's inside. Here is the top of the box, the bottom, here is the side of the box with a nice promo shot of Kylo Ren. On the other side, another promo shot and the Star Wars logo. And here is the back of the box, showing us some more promo shots and some of the accessories that this figure comes with. And I can tell you right away that this unhelmeted Kylo Ren head doesn't look the same as on this promo shot. So that's a shame. But that's enough about the box. Let's now open this guy up and let's take a look at the figure. So here is our MAFEX The Force Awakens Kylo Ren out of the box, and my first impressions are really good. I took a few moments to mess around with the figure, and I feel like the joints are not as tight as we are used to seeing in newer MAFEX releases, but they are still not loose, so that's good. The overall look, the silhouette, the proportions, everything looks really good. Kylo looks menacing as in the movie. Here we can see how he looks from the side, and then here is the back with his scarf, and yeah, overall, I mean, it's a fully black and grayish figure, so on the camera everything kind of blends together. I have to say that the figure looks much better when you see it in person. So that's that. Now, let's take a closer look at the details. The head looks really good, and the hood is really well made. This is the best Kylo Ren hood on a 6-inch figure that we ever got. That's just how I feel, because it is wired all around on the edges, and that gives you the opportunity to mold it, to adjust it into a shape that you feel that works best for this version of Kylo Ren. We can move the hood down, and the wire does hold it down on the shoulders, and we can see how the helmet is sculpted. Just beautiful. All of the damages, scuffings, all of those small details are there. Here is the top of the helmet with those scratches, the faceplate with those silver parts that do look shiny, reflective and metallic. There's a texture in the visor, and this mouthpiece also looks good. There are some damages on it as well, as it should be. That is screen accurate. Here is the back of the helmet with more dents and damages, and the profile also looks great. So I'm extremely satisfied with this helmet. The hood is large, but that's how it should be. In that way you do get enough material so that it folds and so that you can adjust it like that. And then we can take a look at his scarf, which is made out of plastic, but it's a really nice sculpt that looks almost like it's fabric. The ridges are torn, and we have that beautifully sculpted texture on it with wrinkles so that it looks like it drapes naturally over his back. So that looks great. And the front part of the scarf that goes around the neck is also looking really good. And then the arms with these layer parts of the sleeves that that go down all the way to the hands. It's like that on both arms. The gloves also look good. They are beautifully sculpted. They have some lines, some sculpted details on them, which is also accurate to how they look in the movie. The belt also looks good. It's made out of plastic, but it is sculpted in a way so that it imitates kind of a leather looking material. Here is the buckle, the clip in front, and then we have another clip on the side that has two peg holes and is meant to be used for his lightsaber hilt. There's nothing on the back of the belt and nothing on the other side, so it's fairly simple, as it should be. And then the robes are made out of soft goods, and you know that I prefer that. I love that, and it's a nice material that also has a nice texture. It feels like a quality fabric, and when we turn this around we can see that it's folded. There are these two layers, and it's like that on the other side as well. And soft goods robes are also wired, which is great. You would almost miss it because the wire is so thin that you hardly even feel it. But as you can see, it does the job, it works, it holds the pose, so I am really satisfied with what MAFEX did with the soft goods on this guy. I think that the wire is only here in the front on these two sides, but there is no wire on the back lower side of the tunic. But that's fine. This is the most important piece of it because of the leg articulation and because you'll be looking at the figure from the front when you pose it. Underneath is another layer of his suit, and it has the same pattern as the sleeves, and this is a softer type of plastic, so it does get out of the way when you articulate the legs, and it's split into few parts so that it really goes out of the way. The pants look fairly simple. They are kind of dark grayish or black. There are some nicely sculpted wrinkles on them. We see the knees and then the boots that are also really well sculpted with these straps. They didn't paint these loops, these buckles of the straps on the back of the boots. I feel like if this was 2024 figure, that would probably be painted, and this guy would probably come with much more accessories as well. But I must say that I'm satisfied with the overall look of this guy. Now let's take a look at his accessories. First, he comes with an unhelmeted Kylo Ren or Ben Solo head sculpt, and even though I said that it doesn't look as good as what they show us on their promo shot on the back of the box, now when I see this in person, I have to say that it doesn't look as bad and as far off as I thought it will, especially for this being an older MAFEX figure. I feel like they did a good job. It does look kind of too clean and kind of dollish, toyish, but Adam Driver was younger in The Force Awakens, so I think that this is passable. The eyes are nicely painted, same as the lips. The hair is really well sculpted, and I think that on camera the face sculpt doesn't look completely as good as when you see it in person. He also comes with the melted Vader helmet. This sculpt is soft, as it should be because it is a melted helmet. Yeah, this is a great accessory. I know that there is a Black Series version of this that I think it looks a bit better. It's a bit bigger, but I don't have that version of the Black Series Kylo, so this is my only melted Vader helmet from The Force Awakens, and I think that it looks really good. I'm satisfied with this. I love that they made it to look like it's a skull. It looks menacing, and yeah, I mean, even the backside is sculpted. It's sculpted all around, so that's good. I'm happy to add this to my collection. Then he comes with two unignited lightsaber hilts. This one is meant to be used in his hands, and this one with these two golden pegs is meant to be attached to his belt. The hilts are really nicely painted. They have that dark metallic look, and they even painted the red wire and those small silver details on it. The arm guard is also really well painted. Here is the other side, also looking good. And then they even painted the bottom red detail, so that is great. And then of course you get the fully ignited lightsaber that looks beautiful, and I think that MAFEX did the best job on the sculpt of the ignited lightsaber. The blades look beautiful. They are translucent, good and they have a nice red color. The sculpt is really well done, and the blades are sharp at the edges, so you have to be careful with that. I feel like this is the best Kylo Ren lightsaber in the 6-inch scale. And then he comes with 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. First he comes with a pair of relaxed hands that are already on the figure. Then he comes with a pair of open force using hands, which also look really good. He comes with a pair of lightsaber gripping hands and a pair of fisted hands. So that's it. Now let's take a look at his articulation. We are going to move the hood out of the way. The head is on a ball joint, and the scarf will probably restrict the head movement a little bit. Oh no, this looks really good. Kylo can look down all the way. Up is also really good. He can tilt side to side all the way. I mean, look at this. And then of course the head rotates 360. Arms can move out all the way and rotate 360. We have a nice butterfly joint and a swivel in the shoulder. There is no bicep swivel. We have a double bend in the elbow that gives us this much, and we have a standard ball peg wrists that can turn in any direction and hinge however you turn that ball peg. The torso articulation is really good. As you can see, the movement is great, so you can get side to side tilt and swivel. Kylo crunches forward this much, back this much. He has drop down hips and a swivel. Legs move out all the way, they kick forward all the way. This is how much they kick back. Double bend in the knee gives us this much. There is an ankle swivel. Feet move forward this much, back this much. There is a toe joint and a nice ankle pivot. Let's now compare our MAFEX Kylo Ren with some other figures. Here he is with the Black Series Force Awakens Kylo Ren and the SH Figure Arts Force Awakens Kylo Ren. And this is what I was telling you guys. This is the SH Figure Arts figure with the Black Series soft goods. Because SHF Kylo comes with plastic ropes, which I'm not a fan of because they hinder the articulation in the legs if he's like crunching down a bit. Those flaps really get in the way. So I think that this looks better. The hood is something that you can play around with. If you put a little bit water on it, you can mold it and it will stay in that position. And then of course, with this being the SH Figure Arts, the articulation is amazing. On the other hand, Black Series Kylo Ren is also a great figure. This was one of my first Black Series figures, and I feel like Hasbro did a good enough job on this release, especially when you take into consideration that this guy was released back in 2015, I think, the period that we like to call dark ages of the Black Series line. This guy was lucky enough to get probably the best treatment out of a lot of figures that came out back in those days. But compared like this, I have to say that I feel like MAFEX one has the best proportions. Robes maybe look slightly oversized for the body. I think that Hasbro did a slightly better job with the robes. They fit more slick to the body, and the buckle is painted silver, while MAFEX didn't do that. But the overall black tone is much darker on the MAFEX one, while the Black Series one looks kind of dark gray, and same goes for the SHF, even though it is a Black Series soft goods. But when you look at the arms, you can see that the rest of the figure also has that dark gray tone. So when I see them like this compared side by side, I would say that I prefer how the MAFEX looks. And since we are comparing, we can also compare how these three companies sculpted the helmet, and I feel like all three of them really did a great job. Hasbro version is probably the weakest one. The sculpt is kind of soft. This mouthpiece doesn't look as sharp and as well defined as it does on the MAFEX and the SHF one. The visor is also a bit sloppy, and same goes for these silver details. SHF sculpt really looks clean, but I feel like the overall combination of the sculpt and the paint turned out the best looking on the MAFEX version. Here is how they look from the side, and here is the back of the helmet. You can see that Hasbro one has the most shine, while the other two are much more toned down. And then we can also compare the three lightsabers. On the left is the Black Series one, this is the MAFEX one, and this is the SHF version. You can see that SHF did do a good job, but the Black Series one, and this is their first attempt to sculpt Kylo Ren's lightsaber, and so it turned out kind of weird. The blade parts of the arm guard are bleeding over the hilt, and it's all connected as one piece. But they did make few other versions of Kylo where they did do the similar thing as these two companies. But I mean, you can see that the MAFEX version looks the best. It has the best sculpt in the blade. It looks like it's flickering as it should, and SHF one also looks good, but it's not as good as is the MAFEX version. And of course, that's just how I feel. Here he is with the Black Series Captain Phasma and the SH Figure Arts Captain Phasma. And obviously, SH Figure Arts Captain Phasma is just too short, too small. It's too short even in comparison with Kylo from the same line. And on the other side, Black Series Phasma, and ignore the paint on it. I was messing around with the paint a few years back and I never got to finish it. And so the surface got that greenish, yellowish look, but ignore that. We are here just to see the size, and the Black Series Phasma is too big for the Black Series line, but I feel like here with MAFEX Kylo Ren, it kind of works. Here he is with Captain Phasma that I actually prefer in my collection. This is Bandai model kit Captain Phasma, and it's unpainted, unfinished. There are some details on the rifle and on the hands that should be painted, and I still haven't found time to finish it, but I will someday. And on the other side we have another Bandai model kit First Order Executioner. Here he is with the Black Series Force Awakens Rey and the Black Series Force Awakens Finn, and the scale here doesn't work. Kylo is too big for both of these figures. I feel like these two are probably too short, so this doesn't work. And I mean, just look how bad this Rey is. I mean, to this day we still don't have a great representation of the Force Awakens Rey, which is a shame. I mean, we have this and we have the MAFEX version, which also doesn't look that good. At least that's my opinion. But it would be great if Hasbro or any of these companies would give us a new updated versions of Rey and Finn. And I mean, we are missing a lot of other characters from the sequels. Here he is with the Black Series First Order Stormtrooper and the Black Series First Order Snowtrooper. And I feel like the scale here works. Kylo should be taller, and yeah, I think that this looks really good. Here he is with the SH Figure Arts First Order Stormtrooper and the SH Figure Arts The Last Jedi Rey. Here he is with the Black Series Snoke and the Black Series Knight of Ren, and Hasbro needs to finish that theme. Here he is with a couple of Praetorian Guards. On the left we have the Black Series one, and on the right we have the SH Figure Arts version. Here he is with the Black Series Maz Kanata and the Black Series A New Hope Princess Leia. And finally, here he is with the SH Figure Arts The Last Jedi Kylo Ren and the SH Figure Arts Han Solo from The Force Awakens. And while I don't have the Black Series version of unhelmeted Kylo Ren, I do have this SHF one, so we can compare it to the MAFEX one. MAFEX did a good job on their version, but I still think that the SHF one looks much better. MAFEX one looks like it came from an animated show, while the SHF one really looks like he jumped off the screen. The skin tone is much more realistic, same as the other facial features. So I still prefer the SHF head sculpt over this MAFEX one. So there you go. That was my review of the Force Awakens Kylo Ren by Medicom Toy MAFEX. Overall, I think that this is a great figure. You guys were probably right. This is probably the best 6-inch Force Awakens Kylo Ren version. It's better than the Black Series, and the SHF one is also great, and I especially love it even more after I modified it with that Black Series soft goods. But But in terms of how the figure looks straight out of the box, MAFEX takes the win. The overall size of the figure is maybe slightly too big when compared to some of the Black Series figures, but I think that with a little bit of playing around with the perspective and where you put each figure on your shelf and even in your toy photography, I feel like there should be no major issues with the scale. So I love how the figure turned out. I love that we get some wired pieces in those soft goods parts. The articulation is good. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but those accessories that he comes with do look good. He has the best looking lightsaber out of the three. He comes with Darth Vader's melted helmet and few pairs of interchangeable hands. So I would say that for this version of the character, that is enough. But now I would like to hear you guys. What do you think about this MAFEX Kylo Ren? I know that it's an older figure, but still I would love to hear what you think. Do you have this version in your collection, or do you prefer the Black Series or the SH Figure Arts one? Let me know down in the comments. Special thank you goes out to my supporters on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for helping me to continue to make these videos, and of course to the rest of you guys, thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next one.